The great tariff boomerang when help hurts. Tariffs. They sound so simple, don't they? A tax on foreign stuff. Easy. The idea is to make American goods cheaper. This in turn should protect American jobs. But here's the fun part. Sometimes it's complete nonsense. Sometimes these protective tariffs do the exact opposite. Yes, they can actually cost American jobs. Surprising. Think of it like a boomerang. You throw it out, expecting it to hit a target. Maybe that target is foreign competition, but then it comes spinning right back. And who does it hit? Your own industries, your own workers. Ouch. This isn't just a funny metaphor, folks, it's what happened. Let's dive into this tariff-induced mess, shall we? Ford. They build tough trucks and iconic cars. They employ thousands of Americans. They are a symbol of American muscle. So you'd think tariffs would be their friend, right? Helping them fight off foreign competition, keeping those factory lights burning bright. Well, think again, because that's not quite what happened. It's actually impressively the opposite of what happened. Imagine this. Parts of Ford's US production halted. Yes, stopped, ground to a halt. Not because people stopped buying Fords. Oh no, demand was still there. The problem wasn't a lack of customers. The problem was the cost of building those trucks. Specifically, the cost of parts. Thanks, in large part, to tariffs. The tariffs made crucial components more expensive, so much more it became a massive headache. So, what was the big idea behind these tariffs? What was the grand plan that was supposed to change everything? The sales pitch was pretty straightforward, really. It was sold to the public in a way that seemed almost too good to be true. It was all about America first, a catchy slogan that resonated with many. The goal, they said, was to protect American jobs, to bring back the glory days of American manufacturing, to shield our industries from unfair foreign competition, to give American companies a fighting chance, to make American manufacturing strong again. It sounds good. It sounds noble even. Who wouldn't want that? It's a lovely thought, a dream worth chasing. The plan was simple. Tax imported goods. Make it harder for foreign products to flood our markets. Make foreign steel, aluminum, and other products pricier. Create a financial incentive to buy American. This, in theory, would encourage companies to buy American, to invest in local industries, to use American steel made by American workers, to keep the money within our borders, to assemble products with American parts in American factories, to create a self-sustaining economy. The logic seems to follow A to B to C, a straightforward path to economic revival. If foreign goods cost more, American goods win. It's a simple equation, or at least that was the PowerPoint presentation, the idealistic vision presented to the masses. The tariffs targeted specific countries and goods. It was a strategic move. China was a big one, facing tariffs on many products, a major player in the global market. But steel and aluminum tariffs hit allies too. It wasn't just about China. Canada, Mexico, the European Union, they all felt it. The ripple effects were widespread. The idea was to level the playing field, to create fair competition, to stop other countries from taking advantage of the US, a bold strategy indeed. Here's a little secret about modern manufacturing. It's not really made in America or made in China anymore. It's more like made everywhere, all at once. Think of a car, any car, a Ford for example. The badge might say it's American, but its guts, they're a global adventure. The engine parts from one country, electronics from another, the seats from somewhere else, and the tires from who knows where. This is called a global supply chain. It sounds fancy, but it just means parts come from all over. Companies pick the best parts at the best prices, from wherever they can find them in the world. This makes things cheaper for you, the consumer. It also makes companies more competitive, or so they thought. This intricate dance of parts and production is incredibly complex. It's a finely tuned machine, that global supply chain. Now throw a tariff into that delicate system. It's like tossing a wrench into the gears. Suddenly, a crucial part from country X costs 25% more. The car company has a problem. Section 5. Collateral damage. Car makers caught in the crossfire. Let's get back to Ford and their billion-dollar headache. The tariffs on steel and aluminum were a direct hit. These metals are the backbone of cars. You need a lot of them. When their prices shot up, Ford's costs exploded. They had planned their budgets. They had set their prices. Then, wham! Tariffs changed the entire equation. This wasn't just a minor inconvenience. It was a major financial blow, straight to the balance sheet. Ford wasn't alone in this tariff-induced misery. General Motors, another American giant, felt the pain. GM also faced higher steel and aluminum costs. They too warned that tariffs would cost them dearly. They estimated a similar hit, around $1 billion. This meant less money for investment, less for innovation, and potentially more pressure on American jobs. The very jobs these tariffs were meant to protect. Even foreign-owned companies building cars in the US suffered. Take Volvo, for instance. Section 6. From shopping carts to toy chests. The wider ripple. It wasn't just the big burly auto industry feeling the squeeze. The impact was far-reaching, touching various sectors of the economy. Oh no. The tariff tentacles reached much further, extending their grip into unexpected places. They poked into your shopping cart at Walmart, affecting the prices of everyday items. They messed with the toys in your kid's toy chest, making playtime a bit more expensive. Because many everyday items also got caught in the crossfire, leading to a ripple effect on household budgets, especially goods imported from China, which are a significant part of the supply chain. And guess who imports a lot from China? Pretty much everyone who sells you things, from big box retailers to small businesses. Walmart, the king of low prices, sounded the alarm, warning consumers about the impending price hikes. They warned that tariffs would mean higher prices for shoppers, affecting a wide range of products. Things like shampoo, backpacks, and bicycles all saw potential price increases. All those everyday essentials could get more expensive, putting a strain on family budgets. Because Walmart, like many retailers, relies on global supply chains to keep costs low, they source goods from where they are cheapest to make, often from countries like China. Often that place was China, a manufacturing giant, until tariffs made it less cheap, disrupting the cost-effectiveness of these imports. So who pays? You do. Congratulations. The burden falls on the consumer. Then there's Mattel, the makers of Barbie and Hot Wheels. Beloved toys, icons of childhood cherished by generations. Many of these toys are made in China. It's a fact that can't be ignored. Tariffs on Chinese goods meant Mattel faced higher costs, impacting their bottom line. They had to decide eat the cost or raise toy prices. A tough choice for any business. Neither option is great for business, or for parents who just want to make their kids happy without breaking the bank. Section 7, Tariff Whiplash, Businesses Flying Blind. One of the biggest problems with these tariffs wasn't just the cost. It was the sheer unpredictability of it all. Imagine trying to run a business, any business. You need to plan, you need to budget, you need to know what your supplies will cost next month, or next year. It's basic business stuff. Now imagine the government changing the rules, suddenly, frequently, with little warning. Chaos. That's what happened with these tariffs. They were announced, sometimes via tweet. Yes, really. The details were often fuzzy, the timing uncertain, which goods would be hit, by how much, starting when. Businesses were left scrambling for answers. It was like trying to play darts in the dark, while riding a unicycle. Section 8. So what now? America's trade tightrope walk. So what did we learn from this tariff adventure? What insights can we gather from this complex journey? Well, for one, good intentions don't always make good policy. The road to economic stability is paved with challenges. The idea of protecting American jobs is popular. It sounds great. It resonates with the public and policymakers alike. But if the method backfires, what's the point? If the strategy doesn't deliver, it's all in vain. Ford's experience and that of GM, Walmart, and Mattel shows a clear disconnect. A disconnect between the intended goals and the real-world outcomes. A disconnect between the stated goals and the actual outcomes. The reality often diverges from the plan. The tariffs didn't magically bring back all the jobs. They didn't create the economic boom that was promised. In many cases, they just made things more difficult and expensive. The costs outweighed the benefits. The key lesson here is about how the world works. Understanding the intricacies of global trade is crucial. Global supply chains are real. They are deeply embedded. They are the backbone of modern commerce. You can't just wish them away with a tax. Policies need to be well thought out and strategic. Trying to untangle them overnight is messy and costly. It disrupts the entire system. American companies, even the most iconic ones, rely on global parts. They depend on international supply chains, and American consumers benefit from globally sourced goods. The variety and affordability are unmatched. Ignoring this reality leads to unintended consequences that ripple through the economy, like, American companies halting American production. Production lines come to a standstill. This brings us to a rather large, looming question. A question that demands careful consideration. What is the future direction for American trade policy? Where do we go from here? Do we continue down a path of tariffs and trade wars? Is this the best course of action? Or do we seek a different way to ensure American competitiveness? Can we find a better balance? How do we balance protecting domestic industries with the benefits of global trade? It's a delicate equilibrium. There are no easy answers here, unfortunately. The solutions are complex and multifaceted. It's a complex tightrope walk. Navigating this path requires skill and precision. One misstep can be costly. The stakes are incredibly high.